After Bill Finger and Bob Kane created a Batman character for DC Comics, we have seen the presence of this charismatic bat in various mediums. The Knights of our story appeared in video games many times, but it was never a game worthy of Batman and is deserved until Rocksteady Studios step in. The creation of the Arkham trilogy left a wonderful and lasting legacy for the Savior of Gotham, although this precious legacy was not well preserved in the future. The mentioned trilogy has a special place not only in the field of superhero games but also among the greatest games of the world. As the title of this video suggests, today I want to explore a concept such as a law, legislator, law enforcement, and lawbreaker in the lawless city of Gotham. It is a large metropolis that has fallen into the lap of crime, whose day and night have been darkened by the violence, lawlessness, and crime for years. The citizens of Gotham are helpless in this dark hell, and they are ruled by the lawless demon. The city's legislative and law enforcement system is inefficient and cannot bring to the justice the streets that have become the swain of small and large criminals, organized gang, systemic corruption of cops, and even judges and lawyers have created such a chaotic situation in Gotham that the city has become a haven for lawbreakers. In general, the reason for this terrible situation in the city can be attributed to three factors. First, poverty and class inequality. The economy is a cornerstone of society. If the economy declines in a society, the standard of living and income of citizens will also decrease. The decrease in the standard of living and income spend most of the time and capital of human being on a basic needs such as food, clothing, etc., and prevent them from carrying out educational or cultural activities. Lack of educational and cultural activities, reading books, going to the cinema, etc., can also put a person on the path of delinquency and social anomalies. Second, tough criminals and Gotham City's historical talent for crime. There is no shortage of delinquent characters in Gotham, and each of these characters break the law according to their own world view, thoughts, and motives. In the meanwhile, there is a person who has deservedly earned the title of the Prince of Crime, and he's none other than smiling killer Mr. Joker, who absolutely against law and order. On the other hand, the city of Gotham has long witnessed various mafia groups and have taken roots in the city over the decades. Third, corruption that permeates everywhere. Bribery is a subtle form of theft that can easily break through moral walls. Many of Gotham's leading figures, such as judges, policemen, and lawyers, have been corrupted. In such a society where legislators do not care about the law, it is not possible to have expectation on citizens, and disaster occurs when the reformer becomes a corrupter. The overlap of these factors is like a fire on which gasoline is steadily poured, roaring and burning like a wet and dry ash, and after that nothing is left but darkness and silence. In such a situation, when everything seems lost, a hero rises from the heart of darkness to rescue his city from the clutches of crime. Bruce is the only son and child of wealthy and educated Wayne family who goes to the movies with his parents to watch his favorite movie. On the way back, in an alley called Crime Alley, a thief shots Thomas Wayne and Martha Wayne and robs them of their possessions. Crime Alley is a considered a symbol of the environment and society in which the government is incapable of enforcing the law and justice. In fact, the state is a parallel organization that tries to monopolize the legislative power and power within its parallel sphere. In other words, in a land no one has the right to legislate and implement it except the government. So what will happen if the government fails to do so? The tragedy that has befallen the people of Gotham has its origin in the Gotham government's inability to monopolize the right to legislate. In this situation, anarchy and chaos engulf the society, and perhaps even someone will be found to enforce the law illegally. Batman rises out of this destructive chaos and tries to be a lawbreaker while adhering to the law. Do you remember the definition of government? According to this definition, only the state has the authority to use violence in the course of the law, or rather only the state can define, regulate, and enforce the law in its political realm. In this sense, Batman is a person who steps into the path of law enforcement and justice without the permission of a government and spontaneously, and although he succeeds in enforcing the law, he fails to administration of justice. It has been said that all spontaneously. It is good to examine this concept. In the English language, there is a word called vigilante. As the name suggests, the vigilante is a person who, based on his value and judgment, believes that the state's legal force for punishing criminals do not exist, or if they do, they are not enough. This person considers himself a law enforcer. Batman is also self-proclaimed constable who, after the death of his parents, comes to the conclusion that the Gotham government incapable of enforcing the law. After the night he lost his parents, he set out to become one with the Gotham Knights, relying on force, violence, and fear to be the nightmare of anyone who wants to be nightmare of Gotham citizens. He clearly breaks the law in order to arrest the criminals and take them to the police in a tied up and broken arm and leg. By ignoring the citizenship rights of others, he commits crime, some of which I will explain further. First, exploiting violence. Batman's greatest moral code is not to kill criminals, but such a code will never stop him from breaking the hands, legs, and ribs of Gotham criminals. Second, encroachment on privacy. Batman lives a double life. He is able to capture the data of every Gotham citizen in a fraction of a second thanks to the huge fortune and influence of the brand of Wayne, and thanks to the Wayne Tech's advanced technologies. Third, conflict with the police. The police are the law enforcement and the fight against lawlessness. Sometimes, or rather in most cases, the way this constitution follow-up is not the same as Batman. An arc-bearing Bat fights with the police and punches and kicks them. Fourth, disrupting the crime scene. With his advanced technologies and surveillance system, Batman can get to the crime scene much earlier than cops and take anything he thinks of as evidence to Batcave. According to what has been said, it can be seen that the Gotham Police Department (GCPD) does not have a very good relationship with the savior of this city. Most of the officers in this department are corrupt for the reasons such as the fact that Batman has made them look unfair by enforcing the law and punishing the defenders. Most of the officers in Gotham are corrupt, and they are not happy with the fact that Batman is a lawbreaker. In this office, however, there are those who work with the compassion and honor and wish for the dismantling of institution of injustice in society.